The Ontario International Airport that has no Terminal 4 is stalking. This is the guise for which is the demonic creation of amplified noise. It's not actually the sound of a plane. In the same way that there's no airport where they're taking off and rising in elevation, neither is this the sun. That's the Ontario International Airport. That is Paul Leon. That is the City of Ontario gang stalking, as is also evident through this specific environment where, again, the fake sun is in the same position it was, and it's in the same position it was at 119 when Tracy Banks is stalking in the path. Like the male that you see stalking in the parking lot, you'll reference the images that I just took seconds before the Ontario International Airport. It's gang stalking as evident through the specific environment where the fake sun's reflecting off of the same vehicle it is in the morning. This same parking lot space 18, space 19, the fake sun's reflecting, the fake sun reflecting off of objects is the evidence of the fake sun present, which is a supernatural occurrence, proving what is gang stalking by a population. That population is doing so in concert with the government under the fake sun that's in the same position after 4:30 p.m. when my images show the fake sun right here adjacent to the same tree when I'm inside of the apartment, and the fake sun is right here adjacent to the same tree at what is 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and this is where it is also in the morning at 10 o'clock, at 9 o'clock when I'm walking, and between these same two apartments, units 33 through 48, where the fake sun's reflecting off of this window after 4 o'clock in the evening. And right now it is currently 2:54, and this fake sun's not going anywhere, which is evident because when the people of the state are pacing in traffic in the same way that the City of Ontario is pacing in the sky space and playing in helicopter, the entity is keeping a fake sun as it is reflecting off of the vehicles in this parking lot after 5:03 p.m. That which was reflecting, that which is creating what is a shadow. Understand, here's a shadow here, a faint one, and here's my shadow here, a proper shadow, which would be behind you, not in front of you, a shadow that's not going to appear, again, like I've documented, at a distance away from you. You have light that's manifesting in out of nowhere on the building, and also a shadow on the building over here. So I'm going to move around, see if you can pick that up. It's appearing underneath the roof of the building as I'm moving my person. That's not sunlight. This is where the Ontario International Airport is gang stalking with all of the people that say all 144 units are being documented while Tracy Banks paces in and out of her apartment. She is monitoring with the population who are pacing. Tracy Banks' license plate is 9HUZ740. She's gang stalking with the demons. License 7FQFIVE. An engineer light moves underneath the parking structure just like they're doing well after 4 p.m. and 6Y07533, I believe. This is the black Prius. They're pacing in the parking lot. Nonetheless, the same gang stalking residents, and the fake sun is still here after 4 p.m. I'm referencing October 2024, and I'll reference that video. An engineer light is moving across the carport. That's the entity that is gang stalking with Tracy Banks, okay? Stalking in helicopter. You already know that the Ontario Police is relying on the population. That's gang stalking as an apartment complex, and they're gang stalking as a city. The people that stayed at 714 North Vine Avenue are living in relevant position. They're gang stalking as a way of life. The fake sun is remaining, as you can see it above my head as I'm standing at the building for apartments 33 through 48, where the fake sun is rising, where the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department is gang stalking, and this fake sun is right here at the same position, where it would be reflecting off of a vehicle at the same position at 12:53 in the afternoon, when it's over this same building, units 33 through 48, at 9 o'clock in the morning, where the fake sun is rising at 7:34 in the morning. The sun is not in any position to be reflecting off of a vehicle in a manner where it would necessarily be directly above that vehicle. And also remember the documentation showing that it's over me in Los Angeles in the same manner. This is a population using planes and helicopters, and the fact that they are stalking is also evident. This is what I'm documenting on this day in 2024, April 7, 2024, where the Los Angeles Police Department are gang stalking in the same way you see the Ontario Police. They're engaging in surveillance with the population that's remaining at an apartment complex. That is the close proximity whereby activity, pacing on Vine, pacing in the parking lot. All right, doing so while the fake sun remains over me, and while I am in Unit 51, this fake sun remains over the sidewalk, where the same demons are maintaining the elements of monitoring one body after another in vehicles and on foot, and they're pacing. Okay, this is the demon that is operating the Cooper. He's going to federal prison. The Ontario Police are gang stalking by helicopter. He's gang stalking by residents, but he's gang stalking in real time with the police department, and that's an unlawful threat to your life as well. And gang stalking with the police that are essentially commissioned to engage in murder. When they're gang stalking as police departments, that's P.O.C. F505, 50FIVE, is engaged in the P.O.C. while you see the fake sun over me as I walk to this end of the parking lot. It's no longer over Tracy Banks' apartment, and neither would the sun be over this same parking lot as you see at 10 o'clock in the morning, where you're gang stalking by trade. Gang stalking while you're getting paid to engage in services. It's presence, unlawful presence, where the government has no warrant or probable cause and is relying on the criminal engagement in a citywide effort, a statewide effort, like is Los Angeles and LA at Alvarado Gardens, where I'm showing you this same phenomenon while the fake sun remains over my apartment. Over my apartment at 1806 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 6. And at 5 p.m., as you see the fake sun reflecting off of vehicles that are in the same parking lot, it is still, as I've documented, at 5:03 p.m. reflecting off of vehicles in the same manner, speaking to the fact that the sun is not going anywhere, which is a supernatural phenomenon. This supernatural phenomenon coexists with what is the supernatural phenomenon regarding engineered light. All right. The entity is engaging in a cooperative effort as a corrupt entity, and they are all engaging in an egregious sex offense over and under the age of majority, monitoring the genitalia of a woman whom the entity is stalking, and for no legitimate purpose at that, as a whole entire corrupt government operation. And that government operation is reliant on the gang stalking population, who are the people of the state. Those are demons that are pacing, as opposed to traffic. And they know exactly who I am while the fake sun is over me. And this is the direct evidence of what is happening as you look at the documentation on this day in 2024, where at the same time of year, the sun would be over somewhere in Los Angeles, over Alvarado Gardens, because that's exactly what I documented. And this requires that there be more than one sun, especially because those of you in Florida are looking up in the sky space, and that which is remaining over Woodside Senior Apartments, and at the same time of year remaining over me in Los Angeles, which is impossible to be the natural environment. There's also no sun over you. This is speaking to the P.O.C. As you see, the City of Ontario gang stalking by helicopter, the City of Ontario gang stalking by plane, the City of Ontario gang stalking by the people of the state, and Tracy Banks is gang stalking by residents in concert with the people. She is going to a mental asylum, and this is where the fake sun is at 4:30. It's captured in images, and this is an impossible occurrence as you use the objects, as you use the property itself as a landmark with regard to the gang stalking police department. That's the City of Ontario. Paul Leon is going to be removed from office. He's a violent sex offender and is one that is obsessed with me, while he is gang stalking via the City of Ontario with the population who are flying beside the fake sun. They're doing the same thing at 11:40 in the morning when the fake sun is in the same position. They're doing the same thing while flying over me while I'm inside of this apartment at 8:31 in the morning, and the fake sun's at the same address. They're doing the same thing while the fake sun is remaining over the same exact apartment building at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, when DBUNI is gang stalking her black Mercedes. She lives in Unit 66. She's going to prison, and the entity is gang stalking under the same exact circumstances, while the fake sun is still here at 5:57 p.m. Like you saw the demons of the Ontario PD flying in a circle over the apartment building, and this fake sun is still here at 5:57 because it's not going anywhere. This is what LAPD is doing on this day in 2024 as well. Everyone in unit, these two buildings are gang stalking on a 24-hour basis with the government, and they're going to prison and mental asylums for it. And so is Tracy Banks. Tracy Banks, license 982Z740, is on the property right now. That's her vehicle. All right, it's parked on the property. She is gang stalking with the Ontario police, who are maintaining 24-hour surveillance with her inside of the unit, where this fake sun has nothing to do with what is the engineered light that's appearing underneath covered structures. That's not sunlight, and neither is this the sun that's remaining present, and that's called amplified pacing with the population. These are demons who become more and more aggressive and violent. The rise in activity, the rise in aircraft gang stalking methods such as plane and helicopter, the sounding of the sirens. This is going to be the shutdown of the City of Ontario with regard to the airport, the fire department, the police department, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. As you see at 12:53 p.m., the fake sun's in the same position. Shannon Dykes is engaged in a pattern of kidnapping with the corrupt City of Ontario, as is also documented. This is putting everybody in these two buildings in prison. That's called criminal summoning. And I want you to see who's going to prison. Everyone in this building. Units 33 through 48. Criminal summoning. And everyone in units 49 through 64. Criminal summoning. That's what they're doing. at 12:42 a.m. Excuse me, p.m. Amazon Prime is gang stalking with the Ontario Fire, and all they did, that's a demon creating light activity and audible activity and relevant positioning, driving under the fake sun, which is activity creation and criminal facilitation with the police department in helicopter, with the airport in commercial planes, and with the Ontario Fire, who are doing the same thing under the same circumstances under the fake sun, as I documented at 12:42 p.m. And understand how the sirens stop after they cross path with me. That's the gang stalking fire department. Okay, Michael Gecken, he's done with being a fire department, a fire chief, excuse me. They're engaged in domestic terrorism, and they're criminally facilitating domestic terrorism and psychological torture. This is the criminal engagement of what is psychological torture practiced by an entire corrupt entity. The U.S. government's pattern of conduct is underway with the demons who are the people of the state, as you legally refer to them, and this is the body of evidence to prosecute that city, which is engaged in a statewide pattern of conduct that's practiced throughout the country, as you are able to witness it through the specific environment. The criminal use of sirens, the criminal use of helicopters and airplanes are the means whereby the government itself is engaging in what is the demonic method of surveillance. And it is also that which is satanic behaviors. Mental illness is exhibited while the demon-possessed engage in this pattern of conduct. And as you prosecuted, everybody in these two buildings are going to prison. Linda Reyes is going to federal prison. She's gang stalking with the city of Ontario. She's employed at the place of where the facilitating venue was at. And also at the same time, every employee of Avaneth Capital Management and Avaneth themselves are going to be prosecuted civilly and criminally, while the entity engages in criminal summoning, the entity engaged in doing a lap by helicopter, the entity engages in pacing by commercial planes in this video, and is doing so in an environment where you can look at what is the fake sun that's present at all hours as you compare the gang stalking entity itself that acts directly through the police, fire, and ambulance. And you can also look at the documentation with regard to the specific environment while the entity is keeping the fake sun over my apartment on this day in 2024 at Alvarado Gardens in 1806 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 6, where I'm documenting the sunrise. And the next video I capture is during 4 p.m. where that fake sun is remaining over me, and LAPD has been engaged in gang stalking like that I documented all day long on this day in 2024, which is the pattern of conduct where the sun never left from being over me in Los Angeles in conformity to a pattern of conduct, because this is where the fake sun remains, okay? And that's what I've been documenting. The people of the state that are gang stalking, as evident through the specific environment, are acting with a shared unlawful measure of impunity, all right, and psychopathic personality disorders, while the system of gang stalking, which is psychological warfare by the demon possessed, who are also gang stalking with the intent to psychologically torture. This is the same entity that's interfering with the operation of the television to monitor. This is the same entity that's gang stalking via amplified audible activity inside of the apartment building. This is the entity that is gang stalking while all manner of that which they're engaging in. Traffic is amplified, the sound of the train is amplified, the sound of plane and helicopter is amplified, which is criminal interference with quiet enjoyment, while Avaneth is being prosecuted for gang stalking in the manner that you see here. 8:56 a.m., stalking in the patch just like you see here. Walking by does not create your shadow inside of apartment buildings. That's the entity that's engaging in that pattern of conduct with the noted impunity in that specific environment. And it is also showing severe mental illness. All right, that level of malice, those that are, again, in this country, granted the privilege to be here, they are going to be deported. They are engaging in that pattern of conduct with that noted impunity and malice while the entity is monitoring evidence in real time. And the entity gang stalking by helicopter, by plane, and by the fire department are speaking to knowledge of the fact that they are being documented, and the people of the state are still engaged relentless and obsessive endeavor to do so, exhibiting severe mental illness while they're gang stalking you and acting as though they are doing something else, and you are not doing anything other than gang stalking. And you are a violent sex offender, and the light activity is the proof of that. The fake sun remaining over the apartment building where you live and work is the proof of that. The amplified audible activity of everything that you're doing, the engineer light that you're pacing around in with the government is the proof of that, and that is the entity that's going to be prosecuted collectively. All right, that's the unlawful threat that the government poses while it's gang stalking through the very people of the state. It is currently 3:06 p.m. when you're looking at the fake sun. This is the exact same position when it's reflecting off of the same vehicles here. Okay, so the M. Cooper, that license plate, he walks into the unit over here, he's being prosecuted. He's going to federal prison, and he's going to a mental asylum, and his mental illness is exhibited by the malice whereby, and the obsession is also what's being demonstrated while gang stalking remains under the way, and the entity is being documented in real time. That is a stalker that is relentless and still stalking you, regardless of the fact that you are enforcing your rights against that stalker. That stalker stalker is the entire city of Ontario, the state of California. And this is what the federal government is going to answer for with regard to incentivizing this corrupt system throughout the country in furtherance of committing murder and kidnapping. It is currently 3:07 p.m. Tracy Banks is going to a mental asylum for that, which she is doing as a gang stalking relative. This is what Eric Corey Spencer is engaged in. He's going to federal prison while I'm documenting the city of Ontario. This is the same criminal system that he's engaged in with the police, with the fire department, with the county sheriff's department, gang stalking as a relative in furtherance of committing murder and kidnapping. This is the supernatural occurrence where the sun is remaining over me in Los Angeles for the duration of the day, and also where the fake sun, as you are aware of, this is not the sun. And then you're breaking down the environment where sun is appearing underneath a covered structure, a hovering light source that is at a lower elevation than the tree and the tree that's planted in the ground, where demons are pacing around. None of this is sunlight. This is engineered light that is also inside of the apartment where you have impossible light activity, which is covering everything. And this is breaking down that illusion. The entity is doing so in an environment also. Remember, the fake sun is over this same apartment building at 9:46 in the morning, at 9 o'clock in the morning, at 7:34 in the morning. I'm at the same apartment complex, and this is the fake sun moving as I move. This is where the police, the fire department, AMR, ambulances, the population that is Woodside Senior Apartments, the people of the state, in other words, are engaged in an ongoing collective, obsessive, and psychopathic endeavor to monitor, which is an egregious sex offense, and it is the inhumane and unabated program of psychological torture for which the people of the state are going to prison for. You see Avanath gang stalking on video. Avanath is being civilly prosecuted and criminally prosecuted as a company, and its employees are going to prison. And that particular one resides in Unit 41, where you know the fake sun is right here over this tree at both 10 o'clock in the morning and 4:30 in the afternoon, like it is right now, and it's not going anywhere. I've documented it already. It's 3:09 p.m. right now. I've documented it right here beside the same tree after 4:30 p.m., which is an impossible occurrence. That environment is giving context regarding what you plainly saw. That was clearly the entity responding in real time, which is an admission that they're monitoring the evidence, in addition to the fact that they're already surrounded with the evidence that gang stalking is a fact, that gang stalking is also satanic, gang stalking is inhumane, and it's government action. Nobody is protected by any constitutional rights here. Okay? These are psychopaths that are over 55, and Tracy Banks is engaged in that with them. Tracy Banks is relevant with regard to a relative that is engaged in a pattern of conduct against their own, and is in a position poised to, this is not sunlight, I just want you to see it's manifesting in the shade, just so you can see. It's manifesting in the shade. This is shade out here. That's engineered light. All of this is engineered light, and you can see it more clearly when you see it just manifest out of nowhere. This is shade out here. The entity is engaging in what is the pattern of conduct of stalking with engineered light. This is the same building where the fake sun is over this same position, 1 o'clock this afternoon. You've seen it at 10 o'clock when the fake sun is on this side of the building, and yet it's reflecting off of vehicles in the same parking lot. You've seen it on in the same manner over apartment 41. That's where it is right now, while the entity engages in rising and setting it at the same address. And the entity has the fake sun at 3:10 p.m. where it is positioned at 9, 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning when I am moving, and the entity moves the fake sun over me just like it did throughout this video, where the entity included gang stalking by helicopter, gang stalking by the fire department, gang stalking by the people of the state who are residing at the unit and are engaging in that criminal effort with all of that city. It's not traffic, it's pacing, it's gang stalking by the entire city. And the city of Los Angeles is providing corroborating evidence for the prosecution of the state of California. That includes the city of Ontario. All right, the gang stalking population and everyone in units 33 through 64 are engaged in that inhumane and violent sex offense, monitoring in the bathroom inside of this private space, which is the apartment, monitoring on a 24-hour ceaseless basis while in reliance of federal housing benefits at this HUD-regulated property where you just saw the government violate the Violence Against Women Act in concert with the very population. They are all stalking violations of the Violence Against Women Act, and they're all going to be prosecuted under that and for engaging in what is the gang stalking system, which is domestic terrorism. Everybody at this apartment and the city, the government itself, is going to be prosecuted for stalking, the unprecedented basis of violating federal stalking laws where the entity is gang stalking. It is stalking a woman in violation of the Violence Against Women Act, and doing so with impunity. This same sidewalk where the fake sun is present in the morning, this is P.O.C. Not separate from what the entity is doing by helicopter, by the fire department, and pacing inside of the apartment where the engineer light remains. Did you get your face done? was going to get my... Oh, okay. This is P.O.C. This is engineer light that is on the floor. It's not sunlight. Has nothing to do with the fake sun that is indeed outside, and everything occurring on the inside is the same satanic pattern of conduct, while an occupant, a resident, engages in what the government is engaging in reliance on the demon-possessed that reside and remain at and around the venue. This is P.O.C. It's 3:12 p.m. where the fake sun remains, as you know, because I captured the fake sun after 5 p.m. outside of the same patio glass door where it is currently remaining, as you can see, at 3:12 p.m. 3 hours from now, it's still at the same venue. Reference the video at 6:18 p.m. where the entity is gang stalking, which is not the first time I've captured the fake sun setting at the same address where you see the Ontario Police, the Ontario Fire Department, and the people of the state, including Abernathy, gang stalking as a population. Just sex offenders monitoring your genitalia in concert with those who you are related to. I want to be clear, the entity is engaging in that pattern of conduct with knowledge that they're being documented. And that knowledge is based on the specific environment, not because they're looking at you. P.O.C. walking and the engineer light is monitoring. That's the mental illness exhibited but while the entity is engaged in that P.O.C. And that demon, Tracy Banks, ran around to the corner, gang stalking with the apartment complex, and aware of what it is that I'm documenting, and then enters the apartment. She didn't go anywhere. Her vehicle, like I pointed out, remains here. She is engaged in the pattern of conduct while she knows it's being documented in real time, and she is still engaging even when she is going to her place of work, wherever that is. The entity is engaging in, and she is a part of that entity, walking under the fake sun at the same exact location where it remains from sunrise until sunset, and she is indeed going to a mental asylum. It is currently 3:13 p.m. That's the malice and the impunity of, again, the removal from law enforcement, not only Mike Lorenz, but everyone employed by the Ontario Police Department. Michael Geckin, if I recollect his name is correctly, this is the fire chief. This is a terrorist organization as well. They are done with being engaged in the involvement in putting out fires. They're gang stalking in the city of Ontario, as is Alan D. Wapner. Not a legitimate airport. They're engaged in domestic terrorism. They are gang stalking as a citywide effort, a national security threat, while mentally ill and violent sex offenders are using commercial planes to gang stalk a woman, while they are also aware that that woman is enforcing their rights, meaning they're doing so because I am capturing video in order to monitor that evidence as well, speaking to obsession and severe mental illness with regard to stalking someone that the government has no legitimate interest in stalking, and to do so through the spectacular means of a whole airport that puts aside the business of that airport for gang stalking. This is the removal of Alan D. Wapner, who is also a part of the gang stalkers that are on the Ontario City Council, that is under the corrupt and dangerous leadership of Paul Leon, who is a gang stalking mayor, where all of the city of Ontario is exhibiting its demon possession and criminal intent to obstruct justice. While their demon possession and criminal engagement, this is public corruption, is being exposed in yet another video, and that is which the people of the state, which Tracy Banks is a part of, is fully engaged in. And a psychopath walks in and out of the apartment, and this one on video pacing with the white male who you see engaging in what is a joking manner while he is gang stalking. These are the same sex offenders that are acting together with regard to their demon possession, and their demon possession is evident through the fake sun documentation. Their demon possession is evident through the engineer light documentation, and their demon possession is evident through their very presence in the environment. You are being exposed to what is very sick and demonic beneath the surface, and on the surface you're looking at people that walk upright on 2 legs, most of them, and they are conducting themselves as though you are not supposed to be aware. You're not supposed to be aware, and I'm showing you that. Not only are you being made aware, but you're going to witness me prosecute literally Satan. All right, and so this is, again, 3:15 p.m. under the supernatural occurrence of the fake sun. All right, this is the P.O.C. on Monday, April 7, 2025 at 3:15 p.m. outside of the patio glass door. P.O.C.